電光熱動化世界 at the end of the Kai-Tak Airport runway. And it's going to be an amusement park for the young people of Hong Kong so that they can learn in a very exciting way about physics and energy. So here is a picture of the end of the Kai-Tak Airport where we have the cruise terminal that is already built. And we would like to acquire about 3 hectares of land to put the solar wonderland in the mid of the runway. Now, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a professor at Arizona State University based in Tempe, Arizona. I wrote a book called What's the Matter with Energy? And I have been teaching at Chinese University of Hong Kong, ASU, as well as I have a professorship appointment at King Abdulaziz University in Saudi Arabia, also taught at Columbia. Now let me tell you why I'm doing this. I grew up in Hong Kong and I finished high school and I taught myself physics. I really hated how physics was taught in Hong Kong. And then afterwards I went to MIT and I wanted to become a physicist. I took physics for the first 2 semesters at MIT. It totally turned me off. So I changed my major to electrical engineering, basically in energy. So I look at it and ask myself the question. I've been teaching for almost 30 years now. And the younger people, the younger generation don't even read stuff. So how do you teach them about energy? And the best way to teach them is to take them to an amusement park where they learn about the physics of Isaac Newton, about the physics of Einstein and other people, and the invention in energy field. So I'm a pretty prolific inventor. So my 3E focus is going to be on energy, environment, and education. I believe Hong Kong needs that very urgently in these 3 areas as an example to China in its economic development. Now here, let me just describe to you a business plan that I have talked about in this meeting. I am a part owner of the Butterfly Wonderland. I'm using the business model of the Butterfly Wonderland to build the solar wonderland. Now it's based on, basically we're trying to raise $20 million US for a 40% ownership of the company. For myself, who initiated the intellectual property, will be another 40%, and then there'll be execution, a 20% equity ownership. And then we would try to raise another 80 million US dollar for a pass-through investor for another 100% of the equity. And then altogether, there'll be $160 million of equity. And so in the book, you will see we have a return on equity based on these 2 classes of investor at a 25% return on equity. And we hope in a few years we will get listed in the Hong Kong Stock Exchange with the initial price to earning ratio of 20, so that you can do the calculation, the class 1 investor with an 8 times return on their investment within 4 years. So this is our business plan, and the detail of that is in the business plan that I've handed out to you. Let me just explain to you, I want to do this solar wonderland Hollywood style. All right, so you got to use a lot of multimedia and also 3D thing. So first off, you come into the solar wonderland, you will be watching a 3D movie called What's the Matter with Energy? I talk about Einstein's physics, I talk about the Big Bang, I talk about black holes, as well as talk about wormholes. So I would guide you through this very difficult physics by means of motion. Now, then after you watch the movie, you go to the Electric Wonderland that display all the electrical inventions since Nikola Tesla. And there's a ride to go with it, which is called Dr. Frankenstein in the Tesla Tower. And then afterwards, you go to the Optics Wonderland, where you see the optics of Isaac Newton and a lot of other people that invented things like solar panels, telescopes, and so on. So the ride that you have over there is called Alice in the Optics Wonderland. And then afterwards, you go into the Chemical Wonderland, you go into the Heat Wonderland, for which we are looking, basically the ride is called Dr. Joe versus the Volcano. And so we would literally, I'm Dr. Joe, by the way, versus the volcano, then we would just have you put into one of these magnetic levitation ride that we were going to build in the Kitech runway. This works actually, we've tested it, and all these rides will be based on the superconducting magnetic levitation. And then afterwards, you would go to a place called Motion Wonderland, whereby we would use the same ride and throw you in a 4-second free fall. Also, you'll be looking at the planetary motion and understand motion as a form of energy. And the last one we do is called the Chemical Wonderland. The Chemical Wonderland basically would talk about different kind of chemistry. For example, the hydrogen chemistry, the carbon chemistry, the hydrocarbon chemistry, and the nitrogen chemistry as a fuel source, and also as a biological energy source. So you have all these rides that would be very exciting. Now, part of the reason why I want to promote this science amusement park is to really bring invention to the market, because the best way to really sell your product is to educate your market, educate the young people, and the best way to educate the young people is to entertain them. That's all I have, and this is a list of 2 of my products that I plan to build in Hong Kong.